in predictions from most confident to least confident. Starting with most confident, number one, it's Gable Steveson. This is not a hard one for me. Previously, I had someone else as number one, but Gable comes back, and then that became a very, very simple one. And that's no disrespect to the great Greg Kerfleet, an undefeated NCAA champion a year ago. The great American hero, Wyatt Hendrickson. This guy's a bonus point machine, but there's just a different level with Gable. And until I see someone in America beat him, I'm going to pick him, and I'm going to pick him with the highest degree of confidence. This guy's looks bigger and better than ever. He's so powerful, but didn't seem to lose any speed. No rust that we've seen so far. He teched a very good Tay Gadali in his return match. He's the real deal. He's my number one most confident. Number two, previously my number one, Mitchell Messenbrink. I still haven't seen anyone that I think can give this guy a real challenging match. I mean, last year, his two most challenging matches were to David Carr, who he lost to in the finals narrowly, and now he's graduated, and Dean Hamady, who's now at 174. And if you look at his results, apart from those two wrestlers, it's total domination. And that's all we've seen this year, total domination. So Mitchell Messenbrink, 165 for Penn State. Number three, and it's crazy. This is, if there's ever a statement of how wide open these weight classes are, how about that number three is Carter Starachi, who has in his weight class the reigning undefeated NCAA champion, Parker Keckheisen. But at this point, picking against Carter in March is just really hard for me to do. I know it was an overtime match. I know it was close on the scoreboard. I just have so much confidence in Carter in March that, yeah, I don't think he's going to blow Parker out by any means. And Parker will have his say. But at the end of the day, it's Carter Starachi. It's the NCAA tournament. And the guy just wins. Look what he did last year at 174. Really hard to pick against this guy. Number four, and this is where it gets, Carter's a little more simple. And now from here on, it's a pretty nerve-wracking pick to put out there. But I've got Jesse Mendez, 141 NCAA champion. Now, he's got some real contenders in his way. One, Bo Bartlett, who beat him last year in one of their three meetings. And then you also have the national champion from 2 years ago, Andrew Alirez. He has not lost in folk style in quite some time. He's still undefeated, although we haven't seen Alirez much this year. And we haven't seen him against much ranked competition. So we're still kind of wondering what level he's at. But we know with Jesse, not only has he been on the mat, he's wrestled a lot of really good wrestlers, a lot of All-Americans. He won Cliff Keen Las Vegas. He looks better than last year, and I think he's going to have to be better than last year to beat Andrew Alirez, but I think he gets it done. Number five, my nervousness is growing. Meyer Shapiro. He's my pick at 157 now. There's some really big challengers for Meyer. You've got Ja'Cory Teamer, who is, ranked number one, I believe, by every publication, including FloWrestling. You've got Tyler Kasak, who's undefeated as well, and you have Meyer, who's missed time with injury, with concussion issues, which he's been dealing with over the past season. But Meyer's got the most offense. I tend to err on the side of the wrestler with the most offense, and I think that's Meyer. His ability to generate both sides is really next level. He's good from the top position. He can score in bunches. And you have to have that level of offense to beat Ja'Cory Teamer. Ja'Cory's defensively so tough to get to. You saw Levi Haynes basically took one good shot, and that was it. That was the match. That's how he beat Ja'Cory Teamer. You have to have a lot of bullets to take out Ja'Cory, and I think Meyer's got him. So he's my number five most confident. Number six, really nervous here. Ryan Crookham out for an extended period of time with an injury. How long, we don't know for sure, but he's definitely going to be out for a while. But it feels like 33. I'm not as nervous as I would because 33 really hasn't stepped up for us this year. We haven't seen a lot of Lucas Bird. He's definitely looking like the second biggest contender. But other than that, you got Seth Romney. He looks like a title contender, but he has a loss to Knox. You've got Knox. He's got losses on the year. He lost to Frost. He beat Drake Ayala, so he's really good. You have Drake Ayala, so it's a good weight, but those guys are all kind of losing to each other. So I'm sticking with Ryan Crookham. This is a guy that beat Vito twice last year. His only loss a year ago was to Vito Ruja, who he was 2-1 against. I'm sticking with Crookham until I see him not get his hand raised or I hear he's out for the year. Next up, seventh most confident, Matt Ramos of Purdue. He's been the best 25 this year, no doubt about it. And this is a change from my previous pick of Richard Figueroa, who missed a couple tournaments and missed an extended period of time and just hasn't quite looked like the Richard Figueroa we saw at the end of last year. The margins are always going to be really narrow at 125, at least with this current crop we have. There's a lot of contenders. Richard's still there. He's still a big threat. You got Vince Robinson, who just kind of picked apart Troy Spratley in a way we haven't really seen this year. You've got Troy Spratley. You've got Luke Littledahl still looming. You got Vince Robinson, who I think I already mentioned. But yeah, he's really good as well. So 25's deep, but Ramos has been the best guy so far this year. Number 8, Levi Haines. I know I picked Levi preseason, and then he loses to Keegan O'Toole in overtime. Should I change my pick? I'm not changing. Not changing yet. I'm sticking with Levi Haines. I think the adjustments are there for him to make. I think the shot that he needs to focus on is that single leg. That's been the shot that has success against Keegan O'Toole, not that high crotch. So he's got adjustments. I think he'll make them. Keegan is an incredible champion, a 2-time NCAA champion, and who's really only losses are to David Carr, who's a legend, and he lost his true freshman year to Winslow in the NCAA semis. That's it. He's as good as it comes, but I think Levi still gets it done. Very nervous there, as I am at number 9, AJ Ferrari. AJ, he's looked fine. He hasn't looked or wrestled anyone that gives me the confidence I had maybe coming into the year. He was the best guy in 2021. He beat Stephen Buchanan twice. Stephen Buchanan's ranked number 1 right now, including by FloWrestling. So it's like, okay, pick AJ. Well, I thought by January, whatever it is, I would have seen him against someone in the top 10, but I haven't. So now I'm left to wonder. I'm a little more nervous. Stephen Buchanan looks good. Jacob Cardenas looks really good. You got Josh Barr, who maybe has the best resume, the best list of wins this year, having majored Michael Beard and having beaten Stephen Little in overtime. I'm sticking with AJ for right now, though. But he's my 9th most confident pick. And then number 10, Caleb Henson. Henson's looked good, undefeated. He won Vegas as well. Missed last duel against Lachlan McNeil. Would have liked to see him against UNC's All-American, but he did not wrestle. And the reason he's my least confident is Shane Van Ness. That guy looks unbelievable for Penn State right now at 149 pounds. He's dominating everyone. But why I haven't flipped from Van Ness to Henson is Van Ness we haven't really seen against elite competition yet. That's coming, right? The Big Ten schedule is here, and now he's going to face more ranked guys, but we haven't seen him against the best of the best. And even his best win is against Ty Waters, who was injured going into that match and didn't wrestle another match this season, is out for the year. So what version of Ty Waters? Was that the Ty that got 4th at NCAAs last year? Didn't look like it to me. So you can't put a ton of stock in that. But what you can put stock in is what Shane Van Ness did his freshman year at NCAAs, where he beat Caleb Henson. And you can put stock in his level of dominance you're seeing right now. So I'm sticking with Henson, but I'm pretty nervous about the pick. I think if you aren't now more excited than ever for the NCAAs, particularly the NCAA tournament, and some of these weights, just how wide open they are, I don't know what to tell you. I think so many of these weights are absolutely up for grabs. These are my picks. It's very tenuous other than the first 2, maybe 3 picks. Other than that, it could go a lot of different directions. But those are my 10 NCAA champions. What's your pick? I want to know your confidence order for the NCAA champs.